Welcome back to Car Garage, everyone, and man, do I got a fun one for you. Today we're going to be working on Old Pig, the Alaskan Overland Rig, Pig's 2001 LB7 Duramax, GMC Sierra 3500 Crew Cab Long Bed Dually, with a freshly rebuilt camper on the back, 1982 Paris Valley. Today, we're here to crank the torsion bars, give that front end a lift. I'd like to tell you why I'm going to do it, the pros and cons of doing it. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit of shop. So let's talk about why I'm doing this. So I have a camper on the back of Old Pig here, and as you know, these older GM Chevy vehicles, they kind of sit at an angle with the nose pointed down. And when I'm sleeping in my camper and I'm parked at a flat angle, well, I'm parked down like this and I roll to the front and it's super uncomfortable. So I have to be very strategic and try to find a little slanted hill, or I gotta throw some rocks under it, park on a route. Or of course you can always buy levelers and shit like that too, but I don't want to do that because I just want to roll up, park, camp, call it good. So we can get leveling kits, we can get 2-inch lift kits, we can get all kinds of different kits, but you can also just torque your torsion bars. So what are the pros of torquing the torsion bars? This is a 2001, so it is a 21-year-old vehicle. So those torsion bars, they are just giant bars that are twisted, and that's where you get your lift and your suspension from. And over time, they start to weaken a little bit and your front end sags. So you can notice a lot of the older vehicles sit a little bit lower than maybe they did when they first got them. So you can tighten them up, torque them up, raise it back up to where it was. And you can also give it a good 1.5, maybe 2 inches of lift up front, kind of depending on the vehicle and the setup. And you can also get larger keys and do that as well. The danger of that is you start to max out your stock front A-arms and suspension and everything. I do have Bilstein 5100s on the front, so I'm not worried about overstressing my shocks, but I also don't want to max out my A-arms so that they're hitting the bump stops and everything as well. So that's why I'm not doing keys. I'm just going to stick with the stock keys, and I do have about 1 inch of bolt left underneath, so I can crank that up quite a bit, bring up the front end. Probably won't be exactly level because the rear end of this dually is lifted pretty high. It is 1 ton, of course, because it's a dually, but it also has helper springs and airbags, so it sits pretty high. And I believe it is about 2.5 to 3 inches higher than it sits in front. So I can level it out a bit at least. So that's why I'm going to do it. Those are the pros. Here are the cons. The cons of doing that is when you tighten up that suspension, your front end may get a little bit too stiff. Maybe you get it a little stiff for some people. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue for me. I'm not real finicky about these things. It is a big ass truck with a camper on it, so it's already weighted down, and it has nice Bilstein shocks on there, so it does absorb that. And it seems like everyone who's running Bilsteins and who torques up their torsion bars they don't really have any complaints. I got a buddy who just did a 2-inch lift and on his old Chevy, and it rides just fine. He said, I rode in it. It rides great. I like it. And the wear in its tires, surprisingly, are perfectly even, which is also a bonus. But you do want to go get your front end aligned because it will torque your camber. So you'll have a little bit of extra wear, I think, on the outside of your tires, depending on your alignment. Maybe that will put you back into spec. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Pig was aligned with the camper on it probably about 5 years ago now. 4 years ago? 4 years ago when I first got it. So should still be aligned. No, actually I got it aligned again when I put on some new front end parts about 2 years ago. So it should still be good. So I'm going to have to go get another alignment after I crank up those torsion bars. Let's see, what are the other cons? Like I mentioned, you don't want to overstress or over angle your A-arms because your A-arms could hit your bump stops. If you still have stock shocks, you can overstress your shocks. You can go well beyond what they are designed for. Also, this is going to create a little bit of angle in my CV joints as well, and that will increase the wear and decrease the time that they're usable before they have to change again. Luckily, I got the nice Cordon ones, and they do have extra ribs, so I'm not too worried about the boots ripping. And they are only 2 years old now, So they're still in pretty good shape. But for what I do and what I use this thing for, it just makes more sense for me to go ahead and torque them torsion bars. It's going to be a lot more comfortable for me to sleep in. I'm going to have a little bit more lift when I go overlanding on those old logging roads. So I'll have a little bit more suspension, a little bit more clearance, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but I will have just a little bit more clearance. So all in all, it makes the most sense for me. Might not make the most sense for everyone, but take all those things in consideration and decide for yourself what is best for you. So let's go ahead and get into cranking these torsion bars, shall we? First thing we got to do is relieve the stress off those torsion bars so we can crank that bolt. And I'll show you when I get underneath, but essentially what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to lift up the front end. That's going to take the load off the torsion bars so that when I get underneath, there's 2 bolts. I can crank those a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and get this cranked up. Okay, first let's just take a baseline measurement here. We just want to see where we started, where we end up at. I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top here. We are 37 and 7/8, I guess. And about 37 and a half on this side. And you know, this may be because it's uneven ground. It is a driveway and it's kind of torqued and everything in the back, so we're going to go ahead and crank the torsion bars evenly on each side, go take it for a drive, and go drive it somewhere flat, measure it, and then I'll come back and make adjustments as I need to. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and jack the truck up and take that load off of the front end. Okay, torsion bars are under the truck here. That's what these guys are, the bars that go all the way up to the front. Bar twists, give you some suspension. Here is the nut, got one, or the bolt, got one on each side. I went ahead and sprayed them down yesterday with some penetrating oil, and I sprayed them again earlier today. Sometimes these things get a little rusty, so alright. Looks like I got maybe about an inch, maybe a little bit more bolt here. Get you set up, find out what size we need. That's a 19. So let's see here. How do I want to do this? So I think I'm going to do quarter turns here. So, see if I can turn it. Yep, oh yeah, that's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one rotation. Got lots of room, so we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got a total of 8. We got lots of room. Let's go ahead and do another rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is going to be 3 rotations. We still got quite a bit more space, so we're going to do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a total of 4 rotations. And go ahead and crawl to the other side. do the same thing. That is 4. We got about, let me get a flashlight. One, 2. Yeah, we got about the same amount of threads, so let's go ahead and lower it down, measure it, go for a drive, measure it on some flatter ground, see where we're at. Okay, we're about at 39 3/8 on this side. About 39 3/4 on that side. So that worked out pretty good. I know the backs are at 42, so I might just crank it back up and do a full send. Let's go ahead and drive it around first and see where we're at. Here's the verdict. So on the driver's side, we got about right around 38.5. On the passenger side, we got right around 39.5. We got a whole extra inch on our passenger side. And you know me, I'll take an inch where I can get one, but holy shit, guys, that's a little off. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take her back, and I'm gonna go ahead and crank the driver's side all the way up, see what that gets us. And I'll probably have to bring the passenger side down to get it a little more level. I think I am gonna drive to another spot though and just make sure that it is what it is. All right, guys, I got her about as even as I can get her. So if we measure from the ground up, we're sitting at almost 38 3/4, which puts us about an inch above where we were before. Here is going to be, that one says 39 1/4. However, with the ground being as uneven as it is, if I measure from the center up to there, we're sitting at right around 24.5. And then if we get to about the center there, we go. We are at about, they're about 24.5. So it's about as even as I care to get it. I did pump up the tires just a little bit because they were sagging a bit, and all that's going to come into play. Plus, I'll be damned if I cannot find a level place anywhere in this town. So I do have the driver's side cranked all the way up, and the passenger side still has quite a few threads left. So the fuel tank is on the driver's side, so that kind of makes sense to me that it's a little heavier. And in the rear, I'm sitting at about 41.5 on this side. Driver's side sitting at about 40.5. So it is going to be a little heavier on the driver's side. So actually the angle is pretty level still. Maybe a slight angle, not bad. Passenger side, just a slight angle, still not terrible at all. So nothing's really flexing. It's not really going to hurt anything too bad, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be just fine. Yeah, so CV axles still look fine. So I could actually probably go up quite a bit is what it looks like before I get any kind of angle. So I could, if I wanted to, get some torsion keys and crank those up a bit more if I wanted to. I think my torsion bars might be a little more worn than I thought, because that's like pretty much maxed out, or that is maxed out on the driver's side, and I still got a lot of room to go on the passenger side, and I barely got any angle at all. So overall that's good for my CV axles, but I can still, you know, torque on it a bit and go a little bit further. So all in all, pretty happy with it. And that's how you level, adjust, or crank your torsion bars. And every full rotation gives you, I think, right around a 1/4 inch of lift or lowering, depending on which direction you're going. It's a pretty simple procedure. Just take the load off your torsion bars, grab a 19-inch or 19mm socket, and crank it, half turns, 1/4 turns, full turns, whatever you're most comfortable with. 1/4 turns work good for me. Make sure to lube up your bolts, at least a day or two prior, depending on how rusty they are, because they could give you hell and they might snap, or just really depends on where you live. This is an Alaskan truck, so I'm actually surprised it was as easy as it was, because we salt our roads, and so everything corrodes. But it was fine. Did all right. So pretty happy about that. Maybe I just lucked out, I don't know, or maybe the penetrating oil did what it was supposed to do. It is seafoam after all. Stuff works pretty good. All right, guys, that's it. That's my conclusion. Go ahead and give you a couple of shots of what the truck looks like overall, and then we'll close out. All right, guys, see you on the next one.